Okay, so welcome to another session of the English Conversation Circle, which is part of the Circles program from Out&About Group. Out&About Group aims at building a society based on 5 universal values, which are love, peace, acceptance, forgiveness, and benevolence, and promoting the concept of the global citizen, which means a human being treating a human being for being a human being. So this is what Out&About is all about, and all our activities are exactly. The trigger is when we start. So all our activities are focused on our objectives. So whether it's circles, trips, training programs, hand in hand, book club, everything is dedicated to building our society based on those universal values. It's increasing. Okay, we'll wait for the blender. Okay, so we're landing now. Okay, so as usual, my style is different than Dr. Muhammad's style, which is picking a topic for conversation. So let's start with your suggestions. What would you like to talk about today? Anything, suggest.
I have something in mind, but I forgot.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember.
We can talk about traveling.
Traveling. Okay. Traveling. One. We need other suggestions so as to vote on.
Maybe studying outside.
Studying abroad. Okay.
Yes.
Studying abroad.
Studying abroad.
Interesting. Okay. Dalia, any suggestions? No?
Internal tourism.
Internal tourism. Okay.
Maybe how to improve yourself. How to improve yourself.
Do you have a specific aspect on improvement? Okay. Improving ourselves. Okay, we have 4 topics. Okay. The first one, remind me, the first one is traveling. Who would like to talk about traveling? No votes? One, two votes. Okay. 3. You want to talk about traveling? Okay. So traveling. The second one is studying abroad. Who would like to talk about studying abroad? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 for studying abroad. Internal tourism. Who would like to talk about internal tourism? 1.
Since we have bad situations.
We'll see what the discussion will. 1,
Yes.
2, 2.
About tourism, about the
In-
180 GD.
Internal tourism. Okay.
Eh?
Let's not start the discussion now. We'll see what topic we need to discuss. Okay, so let me see the hands for internal tourism. 1, 2. Okay. The last one, what was it?
Improving yourself.
Improving yourself. Improving yourself. 1, 2, 3. 3. 4. Maybe. Okay. So we have 4 for improving yourself and 4 for studying abroad.
So let us combine them just like what we did yesterday.
Improving yourself.
Last meeting.
Okay.
They are all. Both of them can be done together.
Okay. So, okay, since there is a maybe, okay, we'll start the main and we'll see if we go into improving ourselves in the topic. Okay. So, studying abroad, who would like to open the floor? Who would like to start the discussion? Alona.
Studying abroad, yes, I
Okay.
can start since I am the one who suggested
Okay.
this topic. I think studying abroad is a very interesting idea since it adds to your experience in life, different things. You can get used to different cultures, different people, friendships, let's say, um, traditions maybe. Since, let's say, let's start from this.
Okay.
A background or a
Okay.
basement, let's say.
Studying abroad gives us exposure, improves ourselves, and what? What's the third one?
Adds experiences.
Okay.
Different kinds of experiences.
Okay. Lovely. Okay.
I think study abroad is something to be more independent of
Mm.
yourself. So you are away from your family, away from your mother. You should do everything by your own.
Yes.
Cook and clean and everything. You should think about everything. But when you are study beside your family, you will not think about this.
Exactly. I actually, from my experience, I loved that I had the opportunity to study abroad. I loved it.
Just like
And I was 17 years old when I left the country. Okay?
the same.
17, and I couldn't get a driving license even. I had to finish my first year to get a driving license. And I'm really grateful that I had the chance to study abroad. And I did that both on the BA level and on my MBA in two different countries. And in two different time spans. We'll talk about more details later. Let's hear from you. You said you loved it.
Yes, I loved it. I had my BA degree from Baghdad University, so I lived in Iraq. It was very interesting. It was the period that stated the basic, let's say, personal experiences in life, on my life. So I tried later to build on this experience. So I think when you live outside your country or culture, your age is doubled by traveling or by at least being or living in another culture or another country. So it doubles your age.
Maturity.
Let's say maturity, exactly. Compared to the ones who
Stayed home.
who stay home or study in a university at home.
Yes.
So I think it is very useful on the personal level, let's say.
Yeah. In Jordan is a small country. I mean, in other countries, when you can stay in the same country, but still, you'll travel to another city to study. So it's really like traveling in other countries, bigger countries than Jordan. In Jordan, I presume that Mu'ta, for example, Yarmouk to some extent,
Yarmouk 1.5 hours.
to some extent, some people stay there. Some people actually go and live in Irbid, and some others commute. So the people who choose to live in Irbid would have that experience of being on their own. So is there a difference really between being in your own country but still on your own and traveling abroad in your point of view? Yeah?
Big difference.
You can say the more experience you get, you make too much mistakes. The first time when you go abroad, you'll spend more money, more time to understand the culture and the people around you.
Okay.
This is one of the biggest problems and challenges for anybody who stay abroad.
Okay.
Even in Jordan, for example, to go to Karak, I stayed in Karak. In 5 years, I stayed 1 month Amman, 1 month in Karak, in Mota. So I see the difference.
There is a difference. There is
Very
a
big
cultural
difference.
difference, yes.
Most of them, even they are in the university, you cannot say they're open-minded.
Okay.
Still, their mind is stuffed or closed and not educated.
Mm.
You can see that 5 years old boy here in Amman understand more than most of the people in Karak. Most of the
And
people
you mean the university exposure
yes,
difference?
in so many ways, for clothes, for food, for treat people, how to talk, how to behave. This is too much problems.
Okay.
They will treat you like a hostile way.
Mm.
They will try to make problem with you
Okay.
all the way. They will think that you are coming to take their money, their life, and change it to something else.
Okay.
This is
I had an experience. What's the name of the university in Amman?
Hussein.
Hussein. I used to train back in 2010, 2011 in different universities. One of them was in Ma'an, Hussein. And actually, it was one of my best experiences. I loved training in that university. My impression was that I would go train there for people who will not be interested on those topics. We used to train on leadership, communication skills, time management, stuff like that. And I thought I never went to Ma'an before, and I don't know what I will expect there. But generally, because of the stereotyping, I assumed that people in that university will not be interested in those topics. And I had the time of my life. Actually, they were so hungry for the information. They participated in a very beautiful way, and they wanted to get to know much better than Yarmouk or the University of Jordan.
Maybe they have less opportunities.
Maybe, but it was absolutely amazing. And in Zarqa, actually, I also had the chance to train fresh graduates, and I had the same experience. They were really into the information that was presented to them, and that was amazing to me. And then when I asked the other trainers about their experience, they told me that this is the general view. In the governorates, it is a more pleasurable experience in training than in Amman.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Because as Shema said, they have less access to these topics or ideas, and they have less opportunities to communicate, let's say, with outsiders.
Okay.
Regarding the distance from Karak or Ma'an to Amman or whatever.
Yes.
So I think, and also add to it, it is your first experience there.
Yes.
If you
Maybe if I stayed for a longer
yes, for
time,
a long
maybe
time,
yes, it's a
or
different
if you
experience.
live there, so it differs.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. Yes.
Yeah. For your question about if it's in your country or it's outside your country.
Yes.
I think if it's your country, it will be better than or less. You have less shock than
Okay.
when you have in an Arab country, and then you have a foreign country. So there is a language
Barrier.
There is a cultural barrier. So I think if we go abroad, so we will have more challenges and
Okay.
more
But
obstacles.
if you go to Iraq, you will find another language, another culture, and another
But
kind
still
of
it's
people.
Arabic. Still it's Arabic.
I think
it's
it
different.
cannot be understood.
It's
just
different.
like
It
if
is
you-
so different.
But
Yes.
still Arabic. Still you can
Somehow,
you can manage,
okay,
you can
somehow.
say Fusha.
Yes.
So you can manage. I agree with you. I went to study Arabic for 1 year. What is yeah, it's really different. I think it's our neighborhood country. I think it's I watched Bali. Totally different.
Yes,
Totally
it is.
different. I think still language the same. You didn't have to learn another language if you have Russia. It's a totally
Yeah.
different language.
Yes.
They didn't even speak English. Our second language.
Yes.
So I think the difficulties will be
Traveling abroad.
It depends on why you
Actually,
are traveling.
When I will studying abroad. When I was 17, my mind was blank. I had no social skills whatsoever. Zilch, zero,
Pure.
nothing. I mean, no, my classmates, they had ample of social skills, but I was really behind on those skills. I've always been. Maybe until today, I still have hindrances in those skills, but at that time, I was really blank. Nothing. No clue. So the challenges on the social front within the Arabic community abroad was extremely difficult. But my experience, hello, my experience within the local atmosphere was much easier. My experience within the Arabic community abroad was very difficult. My experience in that country within the local communities, it was extremely smooth and beautiful.
What was the country?
Sorry? The first country I studied in Cyprus, North Cyprus.
So let's shed the light or have flashback on our last session. So, the point of acceptance.
Yes.
And let's say let's say foreign cultures or foreign countries, their culture sometimes, not all the time, they accept you
Yeah.
as you are, but in our Arabic communities, let's say they are trying to own you.
Yeah, there are many. Yeah,
to
there are
make
many
you,
ways.
You
Yeah.
their own. So you can find this difficulty
Yes.
when you deal
Especially with someone who's absolutely
Yes.
blank.
I remember I remember story just like you. When I went to Baghdad for the first year, when I was 17,
Mm.
let's say I came from, let's say I came from as a villager,
Mm.
from a village in Al-Abwar Shamaliya.
Mm.
So I know nothing about anything you can see in capital city.
Mm.
So not to Amman, to Baghdad.
Okay.
So which is too many times larger than Amman,
Yes.
or at least the population there was 8 million,
Mm.
just like Jordan.
Twice.
Oh, yes. So
Twice the population
at
of
that
Jordan.
time. So exactly. So the people there, since you are a foreigner for them, even if you are an Arab, they try to suck your money.
Ah, okay.
Uh-huh. They deal with you as in a materialistic way.
An ATM machine.
Exactly. Exactly. You have to pay wherever you go. You have to pay
Yeah.
as a tip or whatever, or the prices are doubled.
Okay.
When they see your uniform is different from them or
Okay.
theirs.
Yeah, but
So
he eat too much pacha.
I remember once I ate it once.
ويابسه ودولنا وتبل.
It has roots. When I came back after the first year finished, I tried to discuss this idea with the materialistic way they deal with each other, or at least us
Mm.
there. I told my uncle, who was the one who was responsible for sending me there.
Mm.
So I told him that the Iraqi people are very materialistic. He said, just wait, after graduate and after you finish your college, you will find when you are in your society, when you deal with your society, you will know who is the more or the much, let's say, materialistic, who has the materialistic behavior.
Okay.
After too many years, I realized that we are the materialistic ones rather than them.
My father's car was broken. We tried to fix it. It need spare parts, and we don't have enough money. The man he give us the spare part, and he give us for the money for the taxi. And every big car stop. What you need? Ice. You need fruit. You need food. You need everything. They give you for free. They will not ask you for charge.
They are generous.
Yes.
Too much.
But actually, in these cases, I think most of the world countries will behave in the same way.
Not in Jordan. This is not. This is also happened with us in Aqaba. One
Yes.
way when we are going to Aqaba,
Okay.
we stay maybe around 7 or 8 hours. Nobody stop. We try to stop the cars. They run away. They hide. And even the police car, they run. They don't
Sometimes
want to
I
stop.
do it. Sometimes I do it. But specifically, or especially in the ways or roads that I know, I'm familiar with, I stop to help people.
But yes, because
Otherwise, I do not
it's
stop.
because it's dangerous as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
This is what happens here too much times. Robbing.
Yes, yes.
Stealing money.
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
like
It's
that.
not a safe issue.
In Iraq, in that time when the car was broken, the temperature there was almost 48.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
we are boiling inside the car, and every big truck stop, give us very big ice cube. We have maybe 8 or 10 pieces, and fruits, different kind of fruits. One of the big truck, he crossed maybe 10-15 minutes, and he come back with ice cream, with a big bucket of ice cream for the car.
Wow. Amazing.
I treat, I was with the Iraqi people too much times. They are too much generous. They don't care what they are spending. Food, clothes, anything you want. But here, even he will see your neighbor house to house. Every day you are with him. He will see you broken your leg. Adi, no, he will not see you.
He will envy you. He will envy you for the good and
We talked about life experience and how studying abroad and the word abroad increases our maturity, increases our life experience, and therefore adds value to our life journey, if you'd like. It makes us look at the world in a different way. Let's look at so we actually looked at the word abroad. Let's look at the word study along with abroad now. My first experience when I went there, now I'm a graduate of a private school in Jordan. It's Collège de la Salle, Frère. At the time, I graduated in 87. So those schools are known for their foreign language or English language strength. So I thought my English language was strong. So I'm going to university studying English. Easy piece of cake, nothing, no problem. Okay? And I used also to go to summer schools to England. During summer schools, I used to go there to strengthen the language more. My first book that I remember opening in my first year was economics. Okay, so I opened the book and I wanted to start studying, preparing for my first year. I had absolutely no clue how to read that English. It was a different language for me.
Where? It was where? At that time?
Cyprus.
Ah, okay.
But the book is in English.
Yeah,
Okay? I couldn't understand anything. My English is good. I mean, I'm fluent in English. But it's terminology, yes. So I had to put the dictionary, the book, okay? And I started looking up words from the dictionary until I got used to the business language now, because I was studying business.
so we had the same experience.
It's a totally different thing than using the day-to-day English language. And that was my first experience. Now, the economics book specifically had a different story, but this is where it is. I mean, what's really the difference between studying and the word studying abroad and studying here in Jordan?
I think it's according to the specialty.
Okay.
Most of our specialties, if you use medical specialty, it's the same all over the world.
Okay.
But I think it may be accounting. some universities here studying Arabic, some universities studying English. So in some specialties it's different. But I think education in Jordan, it was good at that time, maybe.
At that time it was, yes.
No,
Yeah,
it's
it was good.
believe me, it's never been good.
Okay.
For me,
Because-
for governmental
Because-
universities,
because-
I believe in them.
Okay.
For me, it's
If
from my
you
experience.
if you have seen others how they teach, how they introduce their majors or their topics, that you will completely, let's say,
Used.
rethink or reconsider this idea.
The methodology of education,
Methodology
in,
of
in,
education.
in other universities. Okay.
Exactly. So you live in your major. You live in it. But here, just you are writing just to pour them on the paper at the final test.
I think it's according to the specialty. Some specialties you have to practice, you have to do things. Other specialties maybe it's just theoretical. But some specialties no, you have to practice some things. You have to do things
What?
when you are on your own.
But what that extent that your university helps you or gives you the way to practice your major or your specialty? To what extent?
I think
There is
again, it's
nothing.
according to the specialty.
There is nothing.
According to the specialty.
Let's hear Khaled.
I will
Yes.
say something. We don't want to say about the college or the university. We'll say about schools. In Kuwait, there's no to how can I say it? You cannot take private lessons in Kuwait. Never, ever. If you are bad in one topic, the school will provide you with a teacher to give it to you for free. Okay? 99% of the people who go out from Kuwait before the
At that
Saddam,
time, at that
before Saddam,
Okay.
okay, they are fluent in English. Most of them are very fluent in math. Their way, the school, how to teach you any kind, anything you want to learn, is easy for them. They take the best of the teachers and they put it in the schools to give you the good.
This is high school you're talking
No,
about. University?
no, the schools.
High school, yes,
Okay.
high school.
No,
From the okay,
junior
okay,
until you finish high school.
okay. What about universities
University is more better, more than anything
in Kuwait?
in Kuwait, more than anything.
Interesting.
But
Okay.
they need people to study in. In
They give you
2009, I was in Saudi Arabia. The University of King Faisal made an announcement for the Saudis to study out or to have 50 scholarships, full scholarships.
Mm.
Who took them? Just three.
Three.
Who applied?
Yeah.
3 Saudis
This
who
is
applied.
what year is
so
this?
different Kuwait and
2009.
2009. Okay.
2009. They offered 50 scholarships. 3 of them are of the population.
In Saudi?
Saudis applied for these scholarships.
Because most of them are studying abroad.
No.
No,
Most of
No,
Saudi
no.
is,
For the Saudi people,
And that here.
sorry, most of the Saudi people are more lazier than any country in the Gulf countries.
Yeah, sure.
This is the number one for the lazy way for their life. They don't want to work. They sign and go home to take the salary. That's it.
We might have different reasons for Saudi and Kuwait. I might expect the same result in Kuwait, but for a different reason. Okay?
The Kuwait, have
They don't
lazy
need the
people.
money.
No.
In
No,
Kuwait,
Even some Saudis.
no, in Saudi now the society, the demographic, the per capita income and the population and distribution of income in Saudi is totally different than the distribution of income in Kuwait.
In Kuwait or Qatar or
Yeah, exactly. So in Saudi there are people who really need the money. Okay, we seldom find that in Kuwait. Okay, if any. Okay, but it's interesting to find such scholarships in Saudi without any applications. On the other hand, I read an article the other day about the top universities in the Middle East.
One of
Okay?
them was
Israelis.
None of our Jordan universities was included in that
Yeah.
list.
It was Jordan University for 10 years, yes.
For
Because my work in front of the university, day by day I'm talking to the teachers, doctors, students. The most problem now it's happened. You are from the north, I am from the east.
no, it's a culture.
No, it's happening now.
It's a culture.
Yeah, but because of this way, there is too much problem inside the university, and too much. Nobody like to teach you in a good way and to make you learn very well.
As one minister said, higher education said, بضاعتكم ردت إليكم. It to the minister of education. So it starts from the beginning, from schools.
Yes.
So our education
The schooling system.
educational system is sick, is dead, not sick.
Okay.
I will say something about the Jordan University. One girl, she's studying applied English. Fourth year. I know knife. She's arguing her friend. I know knife.
We have teachers. We have teachers who are saying this to their students. People
I remember the Ahmed Helmi movie.
with 20 years experience.
No.
With 20 years experience, they say people.
Yes. Yeah.
Even they couldn't practice or at least see a movie to improve their
Yeah.
language or accent or whatever.
No knife.
Our experience, of course, we all had that same experience in Jordan at school, which is we memorize everything without having to understand anything, even in physics and mathematics. We memorize the laws and we apply those laws on the questions that they ask. So I went to university with that same mentality. And I found that I had to go, actually I needed to go to the library. I needed to do some research on my own. I don't get everything in the lecture. The lecture is not enough. The lecture gives the highlights of the topics. Then I need to go and do my own homework. And that was new to me. Now, after going through that in Cyprus, which is the American system, so after a few years, after graduating, I decided to continue my MBA. So I went to England. My first impression of the university, and it was one of the extremely high-rated universities, it was Bristol University of Bristol. So I wanted to apply for a scholarship from the university, so they told me to write an essay about something. So I wrote an essay, and they said, we need original thought, we need all original, do not quote books. What I said, great, this is my game. Okay, so I wrote original thought. Of course, I did not get the scholarship. So I went to the university and I paid for my own tuition. Then we started the courses, going through exams, going through projects. I'm under the assumption that I need to write original thought. So I really wrote original thought, as I used to in my BA. B plus, B minus, what's this? Why am I not getting A's? And I started looking at the A papers, what they wrote in them, and I discovered the solution. So in my next project, I went to the library, okay, got all the books related. I used to go to the library, but to get my original thought, but then I got those books. In the first paragraph, a quote from this book. In the second paragraph, a quote from the other book. In the fourth paragraph, a quote from another book.
Finally,
And then finally, I compare between those. And my bibliography, the bibliography is where you write all the books that you quoted from, was 3 pages. Okay, 3 pages of books.
definitely you will get A.
A plus.
A plus.
I didn't write anything from my mind. And then I realized that the English system really does not care about original thought, and they want me just to recite what other authors mentioned.
But
Now,
yes.
the difference between Jordan, American system, English system. Jordan, memorize, the same book.
Britain and Americans are the same.
No, they're not.
The same.
Americans, you don't quote. You quote and then you say your point of view.
Exactly.
Okay?
Yes.
The English system, you write and you don't mention your point of view. Anyway, this is my own interpretation of my experience. So, in your point of view, what are really the differences between study and this is my own experience, of course. What is your own impression about studying in Jordan or studying abroad, and with the word studying?
The word study leads to the concept of learning. Okay? What do we mean by learning? How does it differ from teaching?
Okay.
I'm the one who teaches you.
Okay.
So, who's the one to learn?
I'm learning.
Yes, you. So, if you understand this concept that learning is on you, you are the learner. So, how to learn? If you know how to learn, so that's why you got A+.
Okay.
It depends on you. So, let's say the university cannot give you anything or everything. So you have to improve yourself. You have to search. You have to go here and there to get experiences. I remember when I was fresh graduate and I compare myself at that time and now. I was nothing.
Okay.
I was nothing. Really, I was nothing. So the work experience, the thing who made my personality now. But depending on my major or my
Yes.
degree,
And the system that allowed such a learning to happen, the total system that you were in that allowed you.
when you find yourself,
And-
just when you opened your first book at your first day,
Yes.
reading economics, I found that I have to understand Wuthering Heights. I have to read a play and understand for Shakespeare,
Yes.
and I have to explain and to taste the poetry of the 16th century, the Elizabethan age.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna do?
Yes.
So I remember I tried to translate the word to and the word for. I translated them and checked them from dictionary.
Okay.
I spent my first 2 years translating.
Okay. Yeah.
After that, so it depends on you.
Yeah.
How much you
Want to learn.
pay the effort
Yes.
to learn.
Yes.
So it depends on you.
Other opinions about studying in Jordan or studying abroad? Let me pick your minds a little bit. In Jordan, and I never studied in Jordan University, but I saw how other students studied in Jordan. The relationship between the student and the university is the relationship of student to certificate. So I spent 4 years to get that certificate, and that's it. Thank you very much. I got what I wanted. I remember one time we were studying, I think I was in my second year, and my flatmate was still in the first year. And he was studying economics, and then he moved into something that we call in economics Giffen curve. It's about the agricultural supply and demand. It has different rules than the normal, than other industries. From my discussion with him, we actually we went into the extreme of raising knives on each other to prove our points. And this is how heavy and how beautiful was studying to us. And then the next day, both of us went to the professor and we told the professor our point of views so that he can mediate between us who had the right opinion. And this was our relationship with the information that we had from the university.
Live it.
Yes. Now, we all came from Jordan. Our relationship with knowledge was as any other person. I wanted to get my tawjihi and get rid of it from my life once and for all. And all of us, we wanted that same thing. We never had that relationship with knowledge while we were in Jordan. Once we got abroad, and again, I'm saying this is my own personal experience. We never had that relation. We only had it when we actually witnessed other educational systems that encouraged such original thought and such learning techniques and learning passion, if you'd like. So, what do you think?
I do the same in university.
Lovely.
Yeah, yeah. We was very related to our subject, and so I asked my friend what's the lecturer said in this and what's in that, and we came together before the
Final exams.
exam, and yeah, and negotiate things. Yeah, yeah, I do.
Ah, beautiful.
Same thing.
Okay, what was your major again?
Nursing.
Nursing.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Amazing.
Yeah, and we have scientific days, and we have to do posters, and we have to do things that really I do it in my masters also, and in my BSc I do things same as masters.
Wow.
Yeah, I do presentations, I do posters.
Was
I
it the same as with other students? I mean,
I do scientific days. Yeah, some people who don't yeah, as you said, they have to have the certificate and just it. Okay, but yeah, we have hard lessons and hard work, and we have too much work, too much learning hours
Okay.
at school.
Okay.
Yeah, at school and at hospitals.
And I think,
So we have so much to do.
yes.
Yeah.
And I think going to nursing, specifically to nursing, this is one of the faculties that you don't enter unless you really want it. Unless there is really something inside of you that,
No,
because
sometimes you have this grade in Tawjihi, and you can't choose.
but you can go to
courses.
sports, or you can go to
You will post
psychology. You can go to other
Yeah, but
disciplines.
the other reason for studying nursing is just not just the ambition to do this or that.
Okay.
Because you will have your job
Opportunity.
Yeah, opportunities, more job
Secured?
opportunities secured. Yeah.
Ah.
So you have
Nurses
you
number
will have
one.
the job once you finish
Once you
your
graduate, you have your job
yeah,
ready for
especially
you.
if you are female.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the most important reason.
Wow.
For our study for all of us.
Yes.
So we will get the job right. We will graduate.
Interesting.
So this is the point. Not just you want to study.
It's not only the passion.
No,
Okay.
no, not
Okay.
only passion.
Okay.
But just you have hard work to do.
Okay.
Yeah. This is my experience.
Interesting.
Let's go back to the educational system. The educational system in Britain and America, let's say they were the same. The hours they spend at school, the students, for sure I'm talking about, the homeworks they do. Even our Jordanian school year is longer than the school year in Britain or in America.
Really?
Yes, really.
Oh, wow.
The Americans and the Britain go to school for 187 days.
Okay.
The Jordanian school year, the typical Jordanian school year, is longer than this. But in Indonesia, South Korea, and Japan, they go to school, let's say, from 230 to 242 in Japan.
Well,
Their
again,
school year,
the number in Jordan, what is it?
let's say 197.
97.
97 in Jordan.
Okay.
But in Japan,
242?
242 or 43, I remember.
Out of 365.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
They go to They go to school and they spend at school 9 hours. Even in China, 9 hours at school. But what is the difference between their scholastic day and our school day? They have, let's say, after school activities. They are included within this length. So it is not all the time they are studying and opening their books. So they can practice activities during the study time. Go back to Finland. So the Americans now are sending their teachers to learn from the Finlands how do they get these high marks, and especially in maths and science.
This is school.
Yes, for the school.
Okay.
So in Finland, students go to school less than the Americans,
Yes.
or the Jordanians, or any of the previous one we mentioned. They spend on homework a half an hour per day or per night. But the students, are getting high marks in maths and science, and they speak at least from 2 to 3 languages fluently. So, as the length of the school year of the study days, is the only way to measure if this student is going to pass or not, or to succeed or not, or to get high marks or not.
I remember.
It is the kind of teaching, the kind of the educational system. Our educational system depends on memorizing information. Even in the Arab world, even in different, let's say, since I studied in Iraq, they were spending too much money on research. You can find a doctor that his salary is $70,000 per month. But you can find another doctor who did more research, had the salary of $3 to $5 million dinars, Iraqi dinars. About 100,000 JD. So there's difference between
depending on the research.
depends on
yes.
the research. So they pay too much money on research. If you teach, if you teach your students from the beginning, from the school, how to research, how to find their selves, how to choose their major, not by pushing. You are pushed. I was pushed to study English. When I went to in the faculty of arts, I found that I asked, what are the majors here that I can study? They said Arabic language, geography, history, and psychology. I came from Jordan to study psychology. What is the best one? They said English. So let's go for English. I had no intention to study English.
Okay.
Since it was the weakest mark I got into GE.
Wow.
The weakest one. So I decided to study English. At once, yani. Didn't need too much thinking, since it is just like you.
It's just your interest.
After that, I loved it.
Yeah.
I now when I'm teaching now English as a teacher in the Ministry of Education, I teach with passion because I like my major, my topic that I'm teaching.
You say something very important. When you study abroad, you should study something that's medicine or engineering. So this is the stereotyping of the study. When you study abroad, you study abroad to have physiotherapy,
Yes.
or you study abroad to have economics, or you study abroad to have English language.
It depends
No,
on your
you should
ability.
have engineer or just doctor.
I remember
This is our
a friend of mine. I remember a friend of mine. He had 73% scientific stream. I was literary stream, so I don't have a choice to study other majors. So three or four other colleagues, they had grades, let's say, better than mine, and they entered with us in the English department. After 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they quit. They moved to geography, to let's say media, to scientific, to psychology. So it depends also on your, let's say, your ability to stay stand or to stay steadfast. Let's say. I think it is some kind of steadfastness. So it is not easy to choose your major, especially in our.
No, it's not easy at all. I remember my own experience in choosing my major.
Yes, exactly.
I had the opportunity to study anything I wanted, although my tawjihi was really rubbish. I was expected to be one of the top 10, and I went into, I don't want to, you don't want to know where I ended up.
You want to for the last.
So they told me, now everything went wrong in that year. Including I was supposed to go to Canada, and I didn't. And then they told me I'm going to North Cyprus. And my first impression,
North Cyprus is Turkish part.
yes,
Yeah.
Cyprus? What am I going to do in Cyprus? Study. What do they study in Cyprus? Swimming? We never heard of Cyprus before. I mean, I was talking about 87.
Yeah.
Hello, yes, please. So, what do you want to, my parents, what do you want to study? I don't know. You can study medicine if you want, of course not. Engineering, no. My father is an architect. And I said no because of that. And then law, no, because in school they taught us that studying law is memorizing. And I said, law, no. So what is left? Business. Oh, okay, let's go. Business. Okay, let's study business. And that was my decision to study business. And I got stuck with it for 17 years.
We don't know ourselves.
No.
Yeah, and we do not use to know our interests, know our belief system. We didn't know. When I was 30, I didn't on my grade. I didn't know what I want. So this is the problem.
Yes.
I think the new generation is better.
I think I'm hearing that at schools today. They have counselors and they have people who guide them into what they might like and all those things.
Even
Who
the
told
first
you
week
that?
in the
I heard.
Who told
Those
you?
no, the international systems, the IB, the
maybe
GIG,
in public schools, but it is the let's say for IG or SAT, leave them aside. Not all our students are in
No,
IG
no,
or in
yeah, I'm
SAT.
talking about those the Tawjih
the
system. Forget
international-
it. It's a useless system.
Exactly. So it depends on the previous, not even the Tawjihi.
Yeah.
The Tawjihi, it's a period. The student has to pass it. But in the early times of school days, they cannot. As they live in their families, they live at school the same.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to be added to their knowledge or to just memorizing their lessons. And also the teachers. The teachers right now are fully loaded, even in the private schools, in the good, the highly rated private schools in Amman. Even though they are the same, they are practicing the same, but they are, let's say, they are better from any other point of view because they are taking your money, they are making profit of you. So they give you some services,
More trips, more
exactly,
more
But-
carnivals.
But in
more-
fact, let's go back to learning or to the education. You get it is really in Jordan here. It is dead, completely dead. I've been teaching since 2004. So I know this educational system by heart.
Inside out.
By heart. From the less or the least one to the minister. And to different ministers who really destroyed the educational system. From Khalid Tohan
Without me,
and come back. No,
Yeah.
I talk about him as a prime minister,
Yes,
not
yes.
as a person.
Yes, yes.
So
No,
I
absolutely.
criticize him, but it was just like what we say, the Elizabethan age.
Yes.
It stuck to Elizabeth.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and this age in the Ministry of Education started to descend from that time. When Mr. Nebat, Prime Minister Nebat came, he, let's say, regulated, reconstructed,
Yes, yes.
rearranged.
He had serious trials. He had serious
Exactly,
trials.
but
Yeah,
he,
but yes.
he was set to be failed.
Absolutely. But, I
By
mean,
his
I thought the objectives were a little bit high in a small period of time,
Exactly.
and the system of ministries in Jordan, they don't last. So those objectives cannot be achieved within the lifetime of one minister. But I'd like to go back to the Finnish experience, and this topic came up actually, and when you were telling us the story of the Finnish schooling system. This topic came at the time when we had the plans for changing our curriculums and all that. And I read one of the articles was talking, it was one of the Scandinavian countries. I'm not sure if it was Finland or Denmark. I mean, and they mentioned that the curriculum there and the whole schooling system is one of the best in the world.
No curriculum.
Not curriculum, the system.
From KG, they have from the first year to the 6th year of the child's life, just he goes to school just to play.
Okay.
Just to play. After he gets into the first grade, from the first grade to the 6th grade with one teacher.
Wow.
You go up with your teacher. So if there is a mistake, if there is an error in his way of teaching, so you can point at him. You can say that the error is here, the problem is here. So you can identify the problem. When they go from the 6th grade, 7th grade, 9th, 10th, they are with one teacher. They go up with the same teacher. And the secondary grade, secondary grades, 11th and 12th, also the same.
I hear
So-
what you're saying, and
But in Jordan here, at least, the student can change 3 or 4 teachers
In 1 year.
in not
One
1 year,
month.
in one
One
semester.
Especially in May.
Exactly.
I hear what you're saying, and I actually recognize the advantages of that system, but in my mind there are also disadvantages of the system. I think, and this is only a personal opinion, I think, like we said, studying abroad makes us exposed to different experiences and to different ways of life, different cultures and all that. Growing up with different styles of teachers, because each teacher has a style, and one teacher cannot copy different styles. And I think the whole educational experience would become more rich if each topic is educated by a specialized
yes,
teacher.
Yes. Well, this is the way, but
Specialized, but it's
Ah.
in different years.
different years.
Same topic.
So that
English. The one who teaches English
okay.
starts with them from the first grade to the
I
6th
thought
grade.
the whole topics
No,
were
no,
one
no,
teacher for all, one fits all.
Who was that? Polymath.
At the end, in the first grade, when we were young, first grade was one
First
teacher
and second and third.
teaching
One
all
teacher.
topics.
Oh, yeah.
Except the
Yeah,
English.
no.
Until now?
For the
No,
kids,
same.
Except
Okay.
the
Till now.
English and the sports and just only English
Okay.
and sports. Different teacher.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is why I'm saying, this is why my mind came from
No.
first grade to the sixth
You
grade. What?
misunderstood. You misunderstood.
Khaled, you wanted to say something?
No.
No? Any ideas? Any thoughts? Any comments? Studying abroad? Yes, please.
I can say, but I'm not good.
No worries.
I think that teachers know have goals to be a teacher.
Mm.
Because of that, they hate a student, and they don't have a goal in teaching people.
So they didn't want to become teachers in the first place. They had to become teachers.
Yes, they have to come, and they wake up in the morning and have a bad ideas and bad mood to go to school.
To go.
Yes. And in another hand, student come to the school.
Hating teacher.
Bad
I
exposure.
don't like teacher. You hear about what
Yes,
happened in
because-
Erbil, huh?
Just a minute, Khaled. I'll come to you.
Because teachers now cannot add value to a student. When you add value to a student will love you, and love comes to the
Yes. It's today. It's a hate relationship.
You
Yes,
hear
Khaled.
about what happened in Erbil, right?
Remind me.
The student
Yes.
bit the teacher.
Bit as in bite.
No.
No.
Hit.
Slap, hit
Okay.
him, broke his body so many times.
Well, there
It's
are
normal.
many stories now on
No.
that. I
It
mean,
wa-
not
it
only in
was-
schools.
This
Now we
idea
have this
was
as
since
a-
we were students. This idea it was since we were students, but the social media here delivers you from here, from here,
Yes.
from here, from here. So
It happened.
in
in-
the past,
Yeah.
we didn't hear of them. They
They
I
were-
remember one student who was older than our class. He had the teacher in the break time
Yes.
in front of the teacher and the students. So
It-
it was
It happened in the
It happened
70s.
there.
It happened
Yes,
in our
it
times
happened.
in the
Maybe it's
80s.
seven-
but, yes,
my school.
but really it depends on the
Yes.
teacher himself.
True.
I think I am an experienced teacher. When I go to the class, I carry my passions with me.
Yes.
That I would like to add something to the students, to my students. That's why I think they say that you are the loved one.
Okay.
Yes.
Beautiful.
I have feedback from the parents of my students. They say, what do you do to students? They like you, they love you. They only study English.
Okay.
They do not study math. They only study English. Just I'm making fun and of my ways, or
Yes.
when I deliver some information or the information in the, I do not deliver them in the, let's say, structural way to give, the lectural way, as a lecturing, listen and understand and write and copy from the board, and that's it.
That's it.
No. We are doing the teaching in groups, that we discuss, we speak English at least. So,
Do you have all English all the time? Do you have all English in your class? I mean,
Yes.
no Arabic whatsoever.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's say 90%.
Okay.
90%.
Okay.
Sometimes you need to give instructions
Yes.
in Arabic.
In Arabic.
Yes, sometimes.
Okay.
So it is the last solution.
Yes.
We-
Lovely. Beautiful. So, what do you think, guys? Studying abroad. Yes.
I think when I'm study, I don't know why I study. Because of that, I grow up until after to the university. I know how English is important.
Okay.
But I think when I was child, if anyone tell me why I should study English, I will become a better man.
Interesting.
You know,
Interesting.
I think the school and university should add two method
Yes, methodologies, yes.
Yes. First one, dream and goals. Yes. Yeah. When a student know what
What they want to
what
become.
they want to become, they will study good, and maybe the life will be good.
And there is purpose.
Yes.
That now they know the meaning why they need to study English, why they need to study math or whatever.
Yes. They will study and know why.
Exactly.
Study. And another is how to make money.
Okay.
How to how to make money easiest thing in the world. Not study for money.
Explain more.
Yeah. You can make money a lot of ways,
Okay.
but in the
In our society,
in our
just
society, just you study to make money.
Okay.
Because of that, I leave university at
Third year.
third year and mechanical engineering, and go to teach people how to make money.
Interesting. So you now teach people how to make money.
Yes.
And you left universities. You will have so many applicants now.
You know, someone, his name Robert Kiyosaki. It's a master in teaching how to make money, but not in university, not in school. You know Donald Trump?
Yes.
Robert Kiyosaki has to work with Donald Trump.
Okay.
If you travel in any country, go in the airport, go to the bookshop, and you will see a book for Robert Kiyosaki and Donald Trump.
Maybe we'll have you on the board of Out and About teachers how to fund Out and About.
We can make a lesson for discuss يعني نناقش.
Yes, yes.
Discuss about how to make money or how to people think about money.
Lovely. We can do that, yes. And we will have this room full of people.
The first one in the class.
Okay. Guys, thank you very much. It was a beautiful discussion. Thank you for all your comments, for all your participation. And yeah? And now we come to the events of the coming few days with Out and About. So today is Tuesday. The first event is on Thursday. Thursday we have 6:30 to 7:30 here in Chemistry, live coaching. I'll be facilitating the session as well. On Friday we're going to Taba. So we're going to Taba on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Is the registration still open? Yes? Tomorrow noontime. So, if anyone is interested to go to Taba with Out and About, tomorrow noontime is your last chance. I mean, from now until then, you have the numbers on the event and you can discuss it with Dalia if you're interested. On Saturday, we're having the book club from 5:30 till 7 o'clock in Azbakiyya. What's the name of the area? What should I call
Jabal
it?
Amman.
Jabal Amma?
Yes, it's Jabal Amman.
Okay. Because I go from Wadi Sakra, so I really don't know what that place is.
It's between Jabal Amman and Wadi Sakra is the same.
Okay. So, Jabal Amman in Azbakiyya. We will discuss an Arabic book. It has a very interesting title. النباهة والاستحمار.
أيوة.
النباهة والاستحمار Dr. Ali Shariati. We asked actually for this book in the bookstore in Azbakiyya, and they said they were all out. This is how famous this book is. I think it's going to be. I read some of the quotes that Dalia and the other book club team members posted on the page, and actually the stuff is heavy, and it's talking about societies and individuals, criticizing, suggesting a change in a very, very strong method, and really puts us in front of our mirror in a very strong way. So I suggest, if you're really interested in that, read some of it and come, and if you don't have to read all of it, and come to the discussion on Saturday. On Sunday, we have the sports day. And we are going to be in a very, very, very near place this time. And this time we're scouting for a good place to play sports. We play volleyball, basketball, soccer, badminton, and we might have table tennis. We're working on it. This time it's going to be in Cambridge schools and Rabia. Okay, and we hope that this is where we will stick for the following weeks. Okay, we'll try it for this week and we'll tell you about our decision. But come this week if you're interested to play those games with us on Sunday from 8 p.m. till 10 p.m. Monday, do we have anything?
Salsa classes.
This Monday it starts. So this coming Monday, we start with our salsa course, Latin dance. So if you're interested, please call the numbers or talk to Dalia. We're going to start on Monday, so don't miss that. And do we have our acting course yet? We have it published? When?
Not yet.
Not yet. When are we about to start?
Also end of next week.
Okay, so Out and About started a kind of drama club, okay? And we're teaching real scientific acting methodologies, and not only acting. And by the way, it's in Arabic, okay? And engineer Rami Sohwel is the trainer for this course. So if you're really interested into acting as an amateur, or if you want to become even a professional in that section, this course is really beautiful for that. We had our first experience last month, and a group of people who never had anything to do with acting went on stage, okay, after 15 hours of training only, went on stage and did something really unique. It is called interactive play. Okay, المسرح التفاعلي. And actually Yasmin was one of the actors in that play. So, and this will start by the end of next week, as Dalia said. The price of the courses is 65 JDs. Yes, Dalia? 65 JDs for the course, whether Latin dance or the acting one. And on Tuesday we come back here with the English conversation session. So those are the events for the coming week. We are on Facebook group page. We are on meetup.com. We are on Tribe. So follow us wherever you feel comfortable, in any platform that you are comfortable on, and follow our activities. And we'll see you soon, hopefully. Thank you very much, and see you in the coming events.
Thank you. ليش ما تاخذ رسمتها؟ درست رسمتها. هتأجل صارتها دائما باستمرار.
I don't know. This is up to the team. But anyway, this week we're...
درست رسمتها بتأجل صارتها دائما. تعطيها عشان برسل مع أكثر من جروب، فبتعطيها بشكل دائم على مدار 7 سنوات أو 8 سنوات للجالية الفلبينية. Sponsors.
Oday Saade, thank you very much, and we hope to see you in the coming circles.
اللي بنودد.
ايش صار داخلية؟
في صالة داخلية، في صالة خارجية.
ايش فيها العاب؟